What happens when the biggest whales in crypto start to slow down? Not the retail crowd chasing the latest meme coin. I'm talking about billion-dollar corporations putting Bitcoin and Ethereum directly on their balance sheets. For years, it felt like every headline was company buys more Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, Tesla, Block, corporate treasuries going all in on digital assets. It was a gold rush, but in spreadsheets and debt offerings instead of pickaxes and shovels. But now, Mike Novogratz, CEO of Galaxy Digital, says the craze might have already peaked. And when a guy whose business thrives on institutional adoption says that, it's worth paying attention. So today, we're going to unpack what that means and why it could reshape the next phase of crypto investing. Before we dive deep, let me know in the comments if you think corporate adoption was the real driver of Bitcoin's bull runs, or just a convenient headline for the media. I'll be reading them all. At the height of the mania, MicroStrategy turned corporate finance into a crypto arms race. They didn't just buy Bitcoin, they borrowed hundreds of millions to buy more. Other companies followed, some for genuine conviction, others because they didn't want to look like they were missing the next big thing. This worked in bull markets. Share prices rose, investors cheered, boardrooms patted themselves on the back, but the moment the market turned, balance sheets got ugly. Debt costs became a problem. And suddenly the CFO, who was the hero in 2021, was facing uncomfortable calls from shareholders in 2022. Novogratz believes the Treasury gold rush has cooled because the easy wins are gone. The first movers already locked in their positions. The latecomers found out they were buying at the top. And while the gold rush may be over, the real accumulation hasn't stopped. It's just shifted into boardrooms, discrete alliances, and strategies built for the long haul. That's where the story gets interesting. Because this quiet phase, it's not about who shouts "we bought Bitcoin" on Twitter. It's about who's building invisible advantages, like negotiating custody deals with better rates, securing OTC discounts, and embedding crypto infrastructure into corporate payment flows. The truth is, even if the public hype dies down, the influence of corporate treasuries remains huge. When a single company holds billions in crypto, their decision to buy, hold, or sell can move markets. That's why tracking treasury addresses and corporate disclosures still gives you an edge. This is where investors need to think differently. You can't just follow the next press release. You need to read between the lines. If a company stops announcing buys, it doesn't mean they've stopped buying. It might mean they've learned the value of silence. Remember how Tesla quietly sold some of its Bitcoin without warning? That's the new normal. Quiet moves, minimal PR, strategic positioning over public applause. The next question is, does this quiet accumulation phase help or hurt retail investors like us? On one hand, less hype means fewer FOMO spikes. On the other, it means price moves could come suddenly with no time to react. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you rather see corporate buys announced publicly or keep them hidden until they're done? Looking ahead, Novogratz's point is simple. We've reached maturity in this trend. The low-hanging fruit, the media buzz, the easy pump from big headlines, is gone. But for serious investors, that's not bad news. It means the game has shifted to fundamentals and patience. If you're looking for signals now, watch for changes in quarterly earnings reports, unusual shifts in cash flow allocation, new corporate partnerships with crypto custody providers, and most importantly, watch for the quiet whales. Because the story of corporate crypto treasuries isn't ending. It's evolving. The noise might fade, but the money is still moving. And when billions move quietly, that's when the biggest opportunities appear. So the gold rush may be over, but the long game has just begun. And in crypto, the long game is where real fortunes are made. If you found this breakdown valuable, like the video, share it with your network, and subscribe to WealthWise for more deep dives into the trends that actually matter. Your next big move might just start with one insight, and that's what we're here for.